When I was kidnapped, the whole family was thankful that the kidnappers had misidentified me and my sister, who was supposed to be kidnapped, escaped. When the police rescued me, I was bleeding from almost every pore of my body and not crying or screaming. I suffered from emotional blunting. No emotions, no more feeling bad about what was happening around me. I was more at home than any other day. But then they all regretted it and cried and begged me to go back to the way I was. One when I came home from the hospital. There was no one in the house. Even the furniture had been emptied. I couldn't contact my family, so I called my nanny and realized that they had changed their house. I followed the address and went there, and the family was already sitting at the dining table ready to eat. Seeing me return, everyone at the table was a little uncomfortable. "Why did you move without saying anything? It's not that your sister always had nightmares about being kidnapped in the past few days, so I thought that house might have been stained with something dirty. So I changed the place." Mom naturally looked like she was talking about what to eat today. "Your sister delicate constitution. You came back just in time. Sit down and eat together." The table was full of my sister's favorite dishes. My face is plastered with thick gauze. Walking with a limp. No one cares. In the old days I would have been very sad. But now I don't feel much. My emotions, thrown away. Seeing me sit down calmly, my sister suddenly came over to me. "These past few days I was too scared to go out, so I didn't visit you. Mom and Dad were worried that I was kidnapped as well. So they had to stay home with me. Chao-Chi, you won't blame me, right?" Before I could say anything, Dad snatched back. "What a big deal. You are sisters. What can't you understand each other?" I didn't know how to react. Obviously I was the one who was kidnapped. Sister smiled brightly. Hey, I'm not afraid of Chao-Chi thinking too much." Saying that, she pinched a shrimp and put it into my bowl. But Seven has always been very independent, much braver than me. I envy bold people the most. I silently put down my chopsticks. Am allergic to shrimp. Not a single person at the table remembered. 2 My name is Skylar Quinn and I was born on July 7th. My older sister, Autumn Green. As in fake, we're blood sisters. Fortune tellers said I was too ill-fated to stay around and raise, so Mom and Dad gave me to my grandparents in rural town. For so many years, they hardly visited me. It was only when the old man died that they took me back. I came home with expectations, yet I soon realized that this home did not belong to me. On the day I was kidnapped, Autumn Green insisted on walking down the secluded alley, and after a few steps, she insisted on finding the restroom by herself, instructing me to stay where I was and wait for her. Then I lost consciousness. I will never forget about that memory. What a bad luck, worthless thing. The kidnappers' fists landed on my body in one fell swoop, venting their anger. They had mistaken me for my sister and kidnapped the wrong person. The family refused to pay the ransom for me. And they couldn't get a penny. I was starved and tortured for 3 days. My voice was so hoarse that I couldn't make a sound. When the police rushed in, the kidnappers were about to take off my clothes. Blood muddied my vision, but I still tried to keep my eyes open and look behind them. There was no one. Not a single member of the family had come. I wanted to cry, but couldn't shed a tear. The doctor said that I had PTSD, which manifests itself in the form of loss of emotion, also known medically as emotional blunting. The hospital room was empty. No one had been here since the police officer in charge of the case had left. 2 The people at the table treated me as if I were air, and the 3 of them talked and laughed in what looked to be a scene of family gathering. In the past. At this time I always made an effort to join in their conversation, but today I did nothing. I'm done eating. I casually grabbed a towel from the table and wiped my hands. Which room am I staying in? Mom froze. then responded. The rest of the place isn't packed yet. 7. Don't blame mom and dad. There's been so much going on lately, they're both too busy. Autumn Green looks protective of mom and dad, but in reality she's implying that I don't know what I'm doing. Something she's done many times before. I ask back. Did I say I blame them? Gently putting down the towel to wipe my hands. My tone didn't rise or fall. Then I'll just pick a room that's not occupied. You guys enjoy your meal. I walked slowly up the stairs, the sound of my parents' conversation falling on my ears. Who does she get this prickly speech problem from? Chingchio. Don't take it personally. Come on. You haven't had any of mom's herbal broth stew today. Autumn Green readily accepts good advice. My sister is probably scared too. Mom disapproved. What's so scary about her? This is not a good return. I closed the door to my room and blocked out the conversations through and through. 3 in the evening, Nathan Shaw came back. He wasn't Shin's biological child. He was mom and dad's adopted child. And Autumn Green and I called him our brother. I used to dream of having a brother who would stand in front of me and protect me. And Nathan Shaw does meet all my imagination of a good brother. Except that he protects Autumn Green, and he is full of hostility towards me. The person who suddenly appeared and took away her favor, Nathan Shaw, has not shared a single glance with me since he entered the door, almost writing unwelcome on his face. How could the original me be so blinkered? Even when he was like that, I always wanted to stick it to him, to shush him, to give him away. I envied Autumn Green and was jealous of the love she got from her whole family. But when all those emotions were gone, these people's behavior was deliberate and uninteresting in my eyes. I was getting a little hungry. Nathan Shaw, seeing that I hadn't initiated a conversation with him, looked at me a little more. Hey, I don't want any of your stuff. He pulled out a delicately wrapped gift bag. I recognized it as the birthday present I had chosen for him. A pendant that I had hand-polished and crafted. I had given him many things and every single one of them had been returned by him in public. He and Autumn Green had enjoyed stomping my face in this way. Got it. My attention wasn't on him at all. The food was served. But I had no appetite. A table full of seafood. There wasn't a single one I could eat. Just looking at it made the wounds on my body ache. Nathan Shaw fell over. In the past, this person would always beg to accept the gift. This time actually so dry. Could it be playing some kind of trick again? Trying to attract the attention of the family. Brother, what did 7 send? Autumn Green asked with her mouth. But her hand was one step faster and had already unwrapped the gift. What a beautiful pendant. Ah. It seems that 7 has put a lot of thought into it. Brother. You can just accept it. Nathan Shaw pursed his lips. Take it. Doesn't that mean he accepts this person? This was the culprit that made Autumn Green insecure and cry countless times at night. There's no way I'm taking her stuff. Take it back. He looked at me, his tone not to be denied. My stomach ached from hunger. And when I was faced with a table of seafood I couldn't stomach, I just wanted to go out and eat something else. I had just gotten up when Nathan Shaw took me for an unwilling face and grabbed my wrist. Take your stuff away. Autumn Green casts a look of amusement. Going by previous developments, I should be crying. Throw it away. What? Seeing that none of them moved, I took the pendant and threw it in the trash. I said, throw away what you don't want and go ahead. The table fell silent. It was too strange to see me like this. I didn't care about them, and left the table straight away. Nathan Shaw had some bad feelings in his heart, looking at that annoying back shadow fading away. As if something had quietly gotten out of control, Autumn Green glanced at Nathan Shaw, and the hand holding the chopsticks steeply clenched. 4 I went out to eat a cool meal, and when I got home, Mom and Dad were sitting in the living room waiting for me. Come here. I want to talk. Actually, I could probably guess what they were going to say. After I came back, the duo said very little to me, and the only times they did, They wanted me to go on a blind date arranged marriage. Money will always circulate in only a small number of hands, and it's not uncommon for affluent families to climb up the ladder with affluent families. Only they don't want Autumn Green to do this. Besides, Nathan Shaw and Autumn Green have been together for a long time. There is the beginning of mutual love. They don't want to destroy. So they have been shelved. However, my return solved the problem. The unloved second daughter is the perfect tool person. Xiao Qi. The Yun family's youngest son has returned home. You're about the same age. Meet up sometime and have a meal and chat together as well, Mom added. This time when you had an accident, your father and I were very worried, thinking that if you have a man beside you who can protect you, then we can also feel a lot more at ease. I have always refused this kind of thing. These rich second generation grew up living a life of paper and gold. There are a lot of dirty things. Mom and Dad's total lack of concern for me made me sad for a long time. But it doesn't matter now. It's best if I can meet them to plug their mouths. I nodded. Yes. When can we meet? Seemingly not expecting me to agree so readily, there was nowhere to give the long speech they had prepared, and both men froze weirdly for a moment, or Dad was the first to react. Tomorrow at noon. It's at Cloud Enterprises Group's restaurant. Cloud Enterprises. Anyway, if it can look at you the best, it's normal not to be able to look at you. They're not an ordinary affluent family. I nodded. The scene was silent again. Is there anything else? No. I got up and went upstairs, my movements crisp and not at all drawn out. Dad and Mom looked at each other, both seeing complex emotions in the other's eyes. I see this girl has been acting strange lately. She's not plotting anything, is she? They'll have the housekeeper keep an eye on her later. Don't cause trouble for the family. Alas. If only she was half as understanding as Chinchio. How can she compare to the daughter we brought up by hand? I laughed lightly. Yes. Only Autumn Green is our daughter in their words. 5 It was an afternoon when I met the blind date. Zane Cloud leaned against the driver's side window and lit a cigarette, but didn't smoke. He didn't like smoking, but he had to wrap himself in the smell of smoke and the color of alcohol. After a cigarette was lit, he scratched his hair into a mess and opened the door to get out of the car. And this scene happened to be in my eyes. The teenager, so pretty that it was a little unreal, undid the 2 slits in his shirt and leaned disheveledly on the bench. Hello, are you Zane Cloud? I went over to say hello. Are you Shin? 7. Zane Cloud was a bit hesitant. What kind of girl would take such a name? I heard you rejected a lot of people before. Can't talk about rejections. I haven't even met them either. He suddenly smiled. Then I am truly honored. What does Ms. Shin think about arranged marriage? What can I think? It's a rotten life. It's all up to the family. The kidnapping didn't spread, but Zane Cloud must have known about it. Smiling meaningfully, he looked at me. Ms. Shen and I were the same kind of people. He raised his wine glass to clink it with me. I pushed the wine glass in my hand away. Not really. I want to eat first. Zane Cloud froze for a split second and smiled softly as he rested his chin. Fine. Then dinner first. I sighed. I thought I would meet a fool, but it turned out to be one with more hearts than a hornet's nest. 6 Just after dinner and just after separating from Zane Cloud, I received a message from my parents. The Cloud family is very happy with me and wants to get married as soon as possible. Misstep. Originally only thought to find a douchebag to cooperate with me, so that Mom and Dad no longer forced me to matchmaking. Who knew that met Zane Cloud? Dug a big hole for himself. Am not in the mood, but my reasoning tells me I should be speechless right now. And learning that the Cloud family really had their eye on me, Autumn Green couldn't sit still. She thought that she was superior to me in every way. Even Nathan Shaw was unconditionally on her side. However, If I really got involved with the Yun family, then this sense of superiority of hers would be gone. Therefore, as soon as I got home, I saw my parents who looked gloomy. Unlike the happy faces they had when they sent me the news, they were now filled with anxiety, as Autumn Green had fallen ill, and Nathan Shaw, who had been on a business trip, had cancelled his flight to come back home to be with Autumn Green, who had been having nightmares lately. The atmosphere in the house was so heavy that it seemed like she was about to pass away, but she was just having a restless sleep. I recalled the day I was discharged from the hospital. It was really extreme with extreme. 7. As soon as Qingqiu saw you, she remembered the almost kidnapping, lost her appetite, and couldn't sleep well. If I remember correctly, the one who was kidnapped seems to be me. Should I be angry? I don't know. My heart is a pool of stagnant water right now, and I just feel my brain hurting. But aren't you fine? Qingqiu isn't like you. She hasn't experienced this since she was a kid. She's timid. So either you go out and stay for a while. Mom picks up the conversation. I looked towards the closed door of the room on the second floor. Autumn Green was telling me that no matter what, no matter how far I go, Mom and Dad will always favor her unconditionally. Got it. I headed upstairs. Mom was very nervous. What are you doing? Qingqiu hasn't slept for days. It's hard for her to sleep. Don't go and disturb her. I blew my eyes out and my tone was light. Collecting things. Aren't I moving out? Mom's mouth opened and didn't say anything. I quickly carried the boxes down. There was nothing to take. How I came back here from rural town in the first place. They'll still leave today with the things I had then. These things I have long since organized in my suitcase. A few people looked different when they saw how dry I was. I have another apartment in the neighborhood. Go ahead and stay there. Nathan Shaw, who went downstairs to pour water, put the key on the table. Mom and Dad were both a little surprised. After all, in this family, only Nathan Shaw completely do not give me a bit of face. Nathan Shaw also cannot say why he is like this. Just see that thin back, carrying a small box, lonely look. Suddenly do not want her to go. But Qingqiu will be afraid. So the compromise came up with this idea. You can't mess with what's inside. Don't bring anyone else home. No pets in the house. Not even plants. And don't bother. I've booked a hotel. I interrupted him out loud. Nathan Shaw seemed a little surprised, not expecting me to turn him down. If I were the person I was before the accident, I would have been so happy I wouldn't have known who I was at this moment. But before the incident, Autumn Green wouldn't have used this reason to kick me out. And Nathan Shaw wouldn't have just let me stay at his house. Everything was unresolved. Nathan Shaw was fleshly upset. And he thought I was being a little insensitive. You're pretty fast. Can't wait to get going. I didn't react to his grimace and dragged my suitcase out the door. Nathan Shaw stared at the key on the table for a long time, then suddenly copied the key as soon as he could and threw it into a drawer. 7. Autumn Green felt something was wrong. Everyone inside the house was distracted. Nathan Shaw said he was working overtime and hadn't been home for days. Mom and Dad, on the other hand, always sighed as they ate their meals. Wang Ma, I always have a bit of stomach bloating these days. Why don't you make me some of the nourishing porridge you always make in the evening? Mom ordered, rubbing her stomach. Ma'am, that's not what I make. Autumn Green wanted to interrupt, but Wang Ma had already spoken. That was made by Miss Xiaoqi. Afraid you won't eat it. That's why she said I made it. Mom's face was cloudy. After a while she spoke. Then whatever porridge. Cook some for me. I'll go rest for a while. Autumn Green watched Mom leave, followed Wang Ma, clamored to learn how to cook congee, and finally almost blew up the kitchen. By the end of the old night, Mom didn't have a mouthful of congee, and had no choice but to order takeout, and went upstairs without moving a few times. Wang Ma told me everything. In addition to this, there is Mom's favorite flowers. Once upon a time I take care of. Not long after leaving, Autumn Green Bravado said to help. A greenhouse flowers are dead. Dad's favorite specialty tea finished. Everywhere cannot buy. Only to realize that I brought from rural town. Wang Mom sent me a lot. I understood that she wanted to tell me that the family needed me. I am indifferent. How come these things? No one realized when I was there. Now it remembers me. But I don't want to do this now. Point 8. I still recommend you to have psychotherapy. Some of your current manifestations: lack of response to emotions, sluggishness, lack of interest in people or things, etc. A series of manifestations that are already serious and without intervention are likely to develop into antisocial personality. I looked up and met the doctor's eyes. I can't tell. You're quite the professional. Zane Cloud pushed his glasses up on the bridge of his nose. It's okay. I'm in a good mood today and I'm taking my work a little more seriously. I didn't expect to meet him when I came to the peripheral hospital for a follow-up appointment. Perhaps seeing my curiosity, Zane Cloud mercifully returned. This hospital is owned by our family. I nodded. The air was silent. I thought about it, but spoke. I don't want to be treated as a doctor. I respect that. But as a friend, can I ask why? I wasn't sure what his definition of friend was, but ultimately didn't contradict him. I don't think I need all that extra emotion, at least for now. Having that ill just become more miserable. Good, Zane Cloud said as he scribbled the diagnosis on his chart. Everything was normal. His writing was strong and lean and flowing, a bit like the feeling he gave off as a person. If you need anything in the future, you can come to me directly. Thanks. 9. I wasn't surprised to see Nathan Shaw when I went back. With the strength of the Shin family, it's impossible to not find me. 7. Come home with me. Mom and Dad miss you. Nathan Shaw opened the door. I'm not going back. Why? Nathan Shaw got anxious. What's it like for you to stay in a hotel by yourself like this? Those who don't know will think that our Shin family has treated you poorly. Isn't it? Nathan Shaw seemed to have thought of something. His face was a bit ugly. Seeing that he did not say anything more, I turned around and went across the hotel to buy coffee. Nathan Shaw followed me out. I was intent on ditching him and walked quickly. Look out! Before I could react, a car hit me head-on. The world suddenly went very slow. Driving the car was Autumn Green. She had resentment written all over her face. I could see her mouth clearly. Go to hell, she said. In the afterglow, I could see Nathan Shaw running towards me. The next thing I knew, I was unconscious. Nathan Shaw caught up with me, only to see me in a pool of blood. He looked incredulously at the man in the driver's seat. Pain racked him. How could it be Autumn Green? 10. The surgery took 4 hours. Nathan Shaw sat on the waiting bench, half his body numb. Nah, how is she? Mom and Dad hurried over. In surgery, I was asking how Qingqiu was. Anxiety was written all over Mom's face. Nathan Shaw was suddenly a little skeptical of his own ears. It was Qingqiu who hit Xiao Qi with her car. Mom, you're actually asking how Qingqiu is doing. Your own daughter is still lying in the operating room. Then Qingqiu is my daughter too. At the police station. Why don't you follow Qingqiu over there and go bail her out? Qingqiu grew up pampered. Taken to the police station, that kind of place. I have to contact someone to ask. Nathan Shaw looked at the parents who were worried about Autumn Green in front of him. The past scene by scene in his mind. He shed tears without warning. No wonder 7 didn't want to come back. Dad, Mom, 7 has been in rural town for 16 years and we've never been to see her. The day before she came back, Autumn Green suddenly got sick, crying and saying to me that she was afraid that we didn't love her anymore. We coaxed her all night and missed the time to pick up Xiaoqi. Later Mom, you went out to buy Xiaoqi something. Qingqiu secretly crying was found by you. You gave her all the gifts that should have been given to Xiaoqi. Mom was puzzled. What are you getting at? Nathan Shaw didn't reply. Only mumbled. How could I think that Seven would take away everything that belongs to Autumn Green? We can't even treat each other the same. The surgical lights went out. I was wheeled out, still numb from the anesthesia and in a blur of consciousness. I don't know how long it took. But when I woke up, Mom, Dad, and Nathan Shaw were at the bedside. It was a completely different experience than the last time I was in the hospital. I opened my mouth long enough to say the word Dad. He spoke before me. 7. Help Qingqiu. 11. Autumn Green was brought back to the police station. She tried to run away after hitting me and was caught on surveillance. According to the law, she was guilty of hitandron charge. Mom and Dad begged me, hoping that I would admit that I intended to commit suicide. As long as I did that, Autumn Green wasn't at fault in this case. Ice-cold saline injected into my veins and chills ran through my entire body. You guys mean I got hit by your daughter and have to go and get her off the hook? Mom stepped forward sharply and took my other hand, seemingly frozen by the ice. I know you're aggrieved, but Qingqiu is your sister after all. Pick her back up and scold her all you want. Okay. I pulled out my own hand. Every joint in my body was in vague pain. Don't even think about it. 7. Not only will I not speak for her, I'm going to prosecute her myself. Mom snapped up. Skylar Quinn, don't you dare. What's all the noise about? The patient needs to rest. Uninvolved people, please get out. Mom took Dad and walked away without looking back. Nathan Shaw left a message. Don't take their words to heart. You can do whatever you want, and hurriedly followed. I saw a pendant clutched tightly in his hand, the one he had returned to me on his birthday and which I had thrown away. The doctor approached me. Does it still hurt? Can you still move? I said in a bad mood. Is your hospital so short-staffed that you have to go to such an extent? How come the psychiatrist is still in charge of the surgical ward? Zane Cloud took off his mask, revealing that exquisite face. I say you're a real person. I helped you kick people out. Don't thank me even if you don't. You're still choking me. What a foul temper. He came closer again and stared at my face for a while. Fortunately, the face is fine. I see that you are also quite plagued. Just out of the hospital not 2 days. And live in again. Are you looking at me deliberately looking for an opportunity to enter the hospital? If you have a disease, you will be cured. You are quite warm, and still care about my condition. He sighed after a long look at the chart card at his bedside. I knew I wasn't too badly injured, but the back-to-back injuries must have taken a toll on my body. Get well. You can't eat hairy things. And you can't eat raw or cold things either. What a pain in the ass. I complained. Zane Cloud stopped talking and only looked at me grudgingly. Me. Zane Cloud. Really can't do anything about you. Me. 12. It wasn't until he brought me food in a thermos at night that I understood what he meant by that. During the 2 days I was hospitalized, Zane Cloud brought me food 3 times a day. He said it was saving lives. Your sister is being sued. I drank my congee. You're quite concerned about her. I heard what your parents said the other day. This morning they tried to get your sister out. My hands stalled. Ahoo. I got her back in again. My brain went down for a split second. Huh. Our uneducated illegitimate child is such a throwaway for a red herring. I almost forgot that he was the young master of Cloud Enterprises. The Shin family won't let her stay in there for long, and they're sure to get her out again. It's okay. Then I'll get her in again. Zane Cloud said it easily, like he was playing some kind of game. When's the trial? Do you need me to get you a good lawyer? I have a lawyer. I don't think it's too good you that. Really don't need to. I poked at the porridge at the bottom of the bowl. How could it not be too good? Lawyer Zhao is a forgotten friend of Grandpa and Grandma back in the day. Well, call me if you're in trouble. I'm a white angel. I ignored his sneer. Zane Cloud is not a fool. There must be some other reason for him to help me so much. I put my question out. The smile on Zane Cloud's face faded a bit. I would have to have some kind of agenda. I pondered for a while. Otherwise it doesn't make sense. He seemed a little lost. Okay. I have a plan. What do you want me to do for you? I don't like to owe favors. Zane Cloud gathered up my finished dishes and winked at me. I'll tell you later. 13 soon. It was the day of the car accident court hearing. Autumn Greenside. Shin's family all arrived, and brought 2 lawyers with them, hugely. Lawyer Zhao and I looked weak against them. After the reading of the court discipline, it came to the plaintiff's statement of the defendant's defense, the proof of the evidence. The link. Autumn Green's lawyer swore that I have suicidal tendencies. The plaintiff grew up in rural town. And Shin's father and Shin's mother relationship estrangement. And our client and the family relationship is very good. The plaintiff has tried to repair the relationship with Shin's family. But close is not an overnight thing. Over time, the plaintiff feels that the family relationship is hopeless. And Shin's family favor our client. So the plaintiff on our client to produce a jealousy psychology, and finally went to extremes and attempted suicide. He does know how to babble. It's a fact that I was treated coldly in the Shin family. And it's reasonable to have light thoughts of him psychologically weak. But he didn't know that I was no longer that person who would be upset over my parents' favoritism. I don't have any reason to commit suicide, I replied airily. You're jealous that Mom and Dad love me. That's a reason. Autumn Green interjects. I'm not. How could you be? I used to watch you cry in secret at home. Autumn Green, bent on biting me for wanting to make light of the situation, blurted out everything. Completely unnoticed. When she said this, Shin's family members' expressions were all grave. I looked at the judge. I myself was diagnosed with emotional apathy last month. The whole court was in an uproar. Everyone had a shocked expression on their faces. Envy, jealousy, sadness. I don't have any of these emotions, and I have no feelings whatsoever for the Shin family's behavior. Lawyer Zhao spoke. Presiding judge, our side has exhibits. The staff quickly brought the medical record card over. I lowered my eyes. That was the one I had Zane Cloud open for me yesterday. 7. Why didn't you tell us? Nathan Shaw breaks down. I'm surprised you didn't feel it. Haha, didn't feel it. Autumn Green suddenly laughs. Presiding judge, silence. The whole case was simple. Confirming that I wasn't suicidal basically convicted Autumn Green of Hitandron charge. Autumn Green looked at me with spiteful eyes, itching to strangle me right there. In the end she was sentenced to 1 year in prison and 1 year of probation. Skylar Quinn, you're good. Autumn Green's face was so hard that even though deep down she didn't really need to go to jail, she still left a record. Mom and Dad had a much more complicated look on their faces than she did. 7. It's all come to this. Let's forget about it. Autumn Green tugged hard on Mom's arm. But Mom went on talking to herself. What kind of family doesn't have a little conflict? And now that Chingchio has been punished, you can go home with Mom. My lawyer took out a document. Mr. Shin Mrs. Shen. This is the legal severance papers prepared by my client. You two take a look. There is nothing wrong, you can sign. 7. What do you mean? Literally. I don't want to be your daughter anymore. Why is that so? 7. What can't be resolved between family members? Don't lose your temper. 7. What did we do wrong? Now Mom and Dad apologize to you, okay? Autumn Green tugged at her mom. Mom, what are you doing? She's trying to break it off. Just let her. Shut up. Nathan Shaw barked. I took off my jacket straight away, and inside was a backless halter. Turning around, my back was covered in bruises. I heard someone gasp backwards. There are some from the beatings after the kidnapping, and some from this car accident, of varying depths, but the same thing is that every one of them hurts. 7. I said, not bothering to look at everyone's expressions as my eyes fell on the protocols. I did lose emotion, but not pain, and this one wound will hurt on a rainy day. I don't mind if you guys are biased. I don't mind if you don't love me, but I don't want to guilt myself. I've already signed it. So hurry up. Said I packed up my things and prepared to leave, autumn green hate mixed with a hint of excitement. You can think about it. Without the identity of the Shin family's daughter, you can be worthless. Cloud Enterprises won't let you enter the door. I glanced at her. Isn't that what you're hoping for? Yumph. Skylar Quinn. Well, see. Autumn Green had a triumphant smile on her face. As if she had already seen what it would look like if I was disliked for not being able to catch the Yin family without the Shin family's identity. Lawyer Zhao and the Shin family's parents tugged and pulled for half a day, and in the end it was Nathan Shaw who clapped, and the Shin family signed anyway. Lawyer Zhao handed the stuff over to me. In this way, my mission has been completed. There is no shame on your grandparents. In the future only live a good life, child. I held the light 2 pieces of paper, but I felt weightless, heavy enough to finally yank me, who was fluttering around, to the ground and run free. I'm no longer anyone's daughter. I'm just me. 14 Cloud Enterprises. Shin has severed ties with Skylar Quinn, and I've set you up with the Chin family's daughter to meet over the weekend. Zane Cloud frowned. I'm not going to meet. I'm not marrying her. Then you don't have me as your father. Fine. Zane Cloud walked out of the company door with a clearly visible palm print on the right side of his face. But the expression was relaxed. How'd it go? Did it go well? Well. The old man kicked me out. Corporate shares. The company. It's all fine with me. Then you can start your program. Congratulations. And the reason Zane Cloud left Cloud Enterprises bright and early. He's going to take himself out and send the Cloud family back into step on the sewing machine. You're a tough guy too. I heartily lamented. Zane Cloud's mother was killed by the Cloud family, and he had determined from the time he could remember that he wanted to take down in order to gather enough evidence on Cloud Enterprises to be able to bring them down in one blow. Zane Cloud hibernated for 20 years. Now that Chairman Cloud was getting older and had wanted to leave him a portion of the corporate shares, he was actually not the slightest bit moved, and was hell-bent on doing it to the Cloud family. What I'm just an innocent boy who ran away for love. Zane Cloud rubbed the right half of his face and cocked his head. You just laughed. Didn't you? You laughed at me. No. You're looking at it wrong. I grabbed my glass of water and covered the corners of my mouth. You definitely laughed. Boring. Boredom is an emotional feeling. Right. Scroll. I denied it with my mouth, but in my heart, I realized that it was like I had broken free of something. All those lost emotions came back a little bit. 15 in less than a month. Cloud Enterprises collapsed. The behemoth that had been entrenched in the city for years suddenly collapsed. The company, along with several other affluent families that had been attached to it for many years, included Shin's. The company went bankrupt overnight. In one night, the company went bankrupt. The factory closed down. And the residence was auctioned off. The original high and mighty rich and powerful became no different from ordinary people. Autumn Green cried and wanted to leave those dresses and bags. Shin mother couldn't bear it. Why don't you just leave some for her? Shin father looked 10 years older than a month ago. Do you think I can bear it? But if we don't auction these off, what money can we get to pay back the legal fines? Financial fraud's high legal fines coincided with the company's bankruptcy. And the Shin family couldn't plug the hole even if they emptied the family's pockets. Cloud Enterprises was even worse. And Zane Cloud didn't show any mercy. Nathan Shaw is gone. He didn't take anything with him. No one knows where he went. He sent me a message before he left. Just 3 words. I'm sorry. He was lucky to get away with it. But luck is limited. Because yesterday Zane Cloud had already found out his address. For some reason, Zane Cloud seemed to hate the Shin family as well. Skylar Quinn. Autumn Green spotted me and screamed shrilly. What are you doing here, you broomstick? It's all changed since you came home. I hate you, I hate you. Why don't you die? Shin father and Shin mother hugged her and covered her mouth. Looking at me, there are scorn in their gaze. There are also a lot of emotions that I can't understand. Is there something wrong with little you? Come to see you guys. There was a hint of movement in Mother Shin's expression. Came to see your jokes. I complete the sentence. Autumn Green lunged over. You shut up, you bitch. She rolled around on the floor and crawled towards me as Shin's father and mother struggled to pull her. This was the first time I had seen her in such a sorry state. Shin mother was torn for a long time, but still opened her mouth. I know you hate us. She had tears streaming down her face and couldn't say a complete sentence. Hate. Before being kidnapped, I only have sadness. After being kidnapped, I have no emotions. By now, looking at them, I only feel grateful. Thankfully, I didn't grow up in such a family. And thankfully, I met the best grandparents ever. Have a good life as a family. I turned to leave and got into the high-end car parked at the curb. Shin's family stood at the curb with complicated eyes. Happy. Zane Cloud buckled my seatbelt for me. Not bad. He came up and kissed me. Now what? I held up my hand. See this palm? See it? It's kind of itchy right now. After I said that, my hand was about to fall and Zane Cloud grabbed it. You're so cranky. I still like you when you're not in the mood. You don't react at all to teasing. Now you're all domesticated. Fuck off.